German cases and the system behind it. In today's video, I will show you German cases. I will not explain you in detail every single case, but I will show you the system that is behind the German cases. I will show you that English use cases too. Yes, but your teacher always explained it to you differently. And I will show you what's the actual purpose of German cases. Hi, my name is Jan and I'm your German teacher here on Easy Deutsch, your YouTube channel for German grammar. Today's topic are German cases. Yes, German cases, that's probably a holy grail for most German beginner students. German cases are, on the first glance, a little bit complicated and probably one of the reasons why Mark Twain said that this language is too hard to learn in a single lifetime. But I can promise you, it's actually easier than Mark Twain thought. It's easier than most of you think, because there is a system behind it and there is a purpose of that. And the purpose is not torturing you. So I wrote a whole ebook about German cases where I explain everything in detail. And I'm so confident that you will understand the cases after you went through my ebook. Just simply because I will guarantee you this, and guarantee you this with a refund guarantee. If you don't understand German cases after going through my ebook, I will simply give you your money back. And you support my YouTube channel too, that I can give you out more free stuff, more free videos about all German grammar. You will find the link in the info description to the ebook, but we will use it now. We will have a look into this ebook right now with this video, because in this video I will show you, with the help of my ebook, the system behind German cases. So let's switch into my ebook. Nominative, accusative, dative or genitive, no problem. So we're here now in my ebook. Nominative, accusative, dative or genitive, no problem. Or short, cases, German cases, no problem. Today's topic is German cases in general. So what is a case? First of all, cases do exist in English too, but you get it explained a little bit different there. The pure definition is the case of a noun or a pronoun explains its function and its relation to other words in the sentence. So that means with a case, we can do stuff that we usually do with prepositions too, like describe how one part of the sentence or one word is related to another word. And German knows only 4 cases: nominative, accusative, dative, and genitive. Why I say only? Shortly, I will show you how many cases do exist in other languages. Then you will see it's really only 4 cases. And this color code here is not just to make it look nice. No, I also recommend you always to assign a certain color to each case. My recommendation is in this color code, but you can use any color code that works for you, because this color code will make it easier for you to memorize, for example, verbs with a certain case, preposition with a certain case, simply by writing them down in the assigned color. Saves a lot of space in your vocabulary list if you don't have to write next to it. Works with dative, works with accusative. You just write it in the color and you know it already, and for your brain. That's a way easier to remember, because it's easier to remember, oh, it was written in red, so it has to be dative, instead of to remember it was written there, or aus with dative all the time. There you can get confused. Was there written dative? Was there written accusative? I don't really know, but usually the visual thing, the color, is much easier to understand and to memorize. So what do cases do? Every case has pretty much determined a task, something that it's usually doing. Let's have a look at our 4 cases. The nominative case is usually the base form, and it indicates that the noun is the subject of the sentence, so the person or the thing that performs the action or the person or the thing we are talking about. The accusative case indicates the direct object. The direct object is the person or thing that is acted upon or used to, but it doesn't do anything itself. And the dative case indicates the indirect object, so the person or thing that receives something. If you're an English native speaker, you should be familiar with the concept of the direct and indirect object. It works pretty much the same thing, the same way. So that's the difference here. In general, and genitive case indicates belonging or ownership. This is what it usually means, but it doesn't mean that it always has to be like this, because we have to use especially accusative, dative, and genitive also after some certain verbs and prepositions. And there it has nothing to do with direct or indirect object or belonging or ownership. So that much ahead. I publish videos for every single case where I explain all of this in very detail in this video series. So if you just watch that later after publishing, it's already linked in the info cards for you. So please go and check out the videos about every single case to see what else can determine the case, what else can it mean. But this is the general meaning of a case. So let's have a look which words do actually get a case. So every noun has a case. Nouns are everything that you can touch, like house, mouse, bed. Everything you can touch is a noun, but also abstract things like the sky, light. If you don't know what a noun is, I've published a video for this. I will link it for you in the info cards, but also check your own grammar, the grammar of your native language. Every language knows nouns. So if you know what is a noun in your native language, it will be the same thing in German language. So it always helps if you actually understand at least the basics of the grammar of your native language. And on top of the noun, every word that is related to the noun gets the same case, like the noun. So those are, for example, articles, adjectives, and pronouns. They always take the same case as the noun they're related to. If you don't know what an article, an adjective, or a pronoun is, I will link my playlist for you with where I explain every single word group separately, but also check it out in your native language. If you don't understand it in your native language, it's a way harder to understand it in German. So it makes it also way easier if you know what's an article in your native language to understand what's an article in German. And all of those words that get a case need to be declined according to the case. Declined means we have to adjust their endings, usually according to the case. For example, here, der Mann gibt der Frau die Blumen. Here we have an example. This is nominative because it's the subject. Remember, nominative the subject. Gibt der Frau die Blumen. So the man gives the flowers to the woman. In English, we have to use to, the woman, here to show that the flowers are given to the woman. In German, we use a case instead of the preposition, and it means exactly the same thing. Because remember, prepositions are there to show relations between words. The same do the cases. And die Frau bekommt ein Geschenk. The woman gets a present. Here it's direct object, the same like the flowers are the direct object here, and therefore accusative case. Das Kind hat einen Ball, the child has a ball, subject and direct object. But we also have the sentence here, der Vater geht morgen mit dem Kind in die Schule. That's still the subject, the dad goes tomorrow with the child in the school, word by word. Here it's dative because we have the preposition mit, and here it's accusative because of the preposition in. Has nothing to do with the direct or indirect object, but you can see here we have to adjust the endings of the articles according to the case. The same happens to adjectives, and also pronouns change according to the case. There's a short overview here, but declension itself, I have separate videos about that. I will link that in the info cards for you, where I will explain declension in detail for all the articles and also adjective declension for you, because it's very important that you understand how it works. If you don't get it right, if that looks like too much, don't worry too much. Most of the time, Germans still understand you if you get this wrong, but it will raise some questions. So they will probably have a little break to try to understand what you're really saying according from the situation you're saying it. So if you get us wrong, it's not the end of the world, but it's better to get it right. Then Germans will understand you immediately, while if you're having it wrong, it will interrupt them and they will have to think about, yeah, what is he saying exactly? Because this system of cases looks very confusing and probably also unnecessary on the first look if you can do the same thing with prepositions like in English, right? But it actually gives the language a lot of flexibility in how to say things, and it eliminates a lot of misunderstandings. In English, you may have noticed that, especially if you just learned the language or maybe also as a native speaker, you very often have sentences that could mean a lot of different things, depending on the situation. And if you're not so sure about the situation, it leads to misunderstandings. While in German, this is a way less of a problem due to the cases. They eliminate many of those situations simply because it can be only that way due to the case. So that's the purpose, and it also gives the language a certain flexibility in poetic stuff. So that's why German is also called the language of the poets and writers. If you've ever heard about this, it's simply because the grammar gives the writer a certain flexibility in how to form sentences, how to say stuff that is not there in English because it's a very fixed, inflexible structure, while in German it's flexible. And I promise you, after you got past this point that you have to change it, German grammar is most often even easier than English grammar after you mastered cases and articles and adjective declension. And that's exactly what we're here for, right? To master German cases. And here, the short answer to the question, how do we use it, when do we use it? Usually function of the noun in the sentence, or if the verb or preposition is requiring a case. I will explain more about this in the special videos about every single case. And just to make it more obvious for you, English has cases. The gardener's tools, this Gärtner's Werkzeuge, this S here that you have to add if you describe the ownership of something, it's nothing else than genitive. Also, I give him milk. Ich gebe ihm Milch. If you have to change he to him, that's nothing else than dative or accusative case. But obviously, you don't get it taught that way when learning English, because you simply learn it. You have to do it like this. There is no reason for that. To explain it, the reason would be too complicated, because you have to change it only there. You don't need it everywhere. So that's why there are cases in English. So it's the same concept, just a way less used. But I told you at the beginning, German has only 4 cases. So let's have a look how many cases there are in other languages. So if you're learning one of those, you probably know already. So there are more cases in Russian, Polish, Czech, Croatian, Finnish, and Hungarian has 23 cases. So we have only 4 here. In German, so you can see it's actually not that hard. And a little history lesson before, there were also more cases in German, like the ablative, locative, vocative, directive, and instrumental. We got rid of them. And it's also said that linguists say even a genitive will probably go extinct soon. But soon here really means the next 100 to 200 years. So you still have to learn it. But the most important ones you should focus on are nominative, accusative, and dative case. But you can see here, it's only 4 in German, and I'm here to help you to master the German cases with this ebook that I'm using for this lesson and my YouTube videos. Your to-do list right now is check your own native language in case it's not English. Do you use cases? Does your language use cases? If yes, check out how do they work. What do you need to adjust? It's probably similar to German. If your language doesn't use cases, well, you're a little bit unlucky, but I promise you, you will understand the cases by the end of either going through my book or ebook or by watching all of my videos. You should also be able to understand everything. If you've done with your task, you should understand the system that is laying you behind. If you're not so quite sure about it yet, no worries. That was not an intention of this video. The intention was for you to show there is a purpose why we are doing it, and it is probably a little bit easier than you think. In the next upcoming videos, I will show you every single case in detail. When do you have to use it? What triggers the case? I will link those in the info cards if you just watch them later on. If you're watching this right on publishing, on release of this video, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Then you will get notified when I'm releasing the videos on the individual cases. But there's also my German YouTube channel. If you understand German already, there the videos are already online, but it's German only for the more advanced students. And if you like this video, please don't forget to hit the like button to support me and my channel. It's also great support sharing my video. And if you want to understand everything about German cases, the ebook that I was just using for this video, you can buy it. And I guarantee you, you will understand the German cases afterwards. Otherwise, if you don't get it, I will refund you your money. So the link to the ebook is in the video description below. And then I hope I will see you again in one of my other videos. And until then, viel Spaß und Erfolg beim Deutschlernen.